Hello internet passers-by, welcome back to Napcast. As always, I'm Robin Torres. Joining me once again today is Shaun.
What's up, Poddies?
And Melina.
What the fuck?
I took it from you.
Bodies! You didn't get the vibe right.
He didn't get the vibe right? You didn't fucking introduce it properly last time.
No, I know I didn't. I was just
like
kind of thrown
six
into
words.
it. I know, but I never really remember.
Can I say, I listened back to that episode again. It's so funny listening back.
We've established I do not remember quotes. What will make you think I could remember an
You
intro?
hear it like every fucking time we do this.
Still, I can't remember words.
It's 6 words!
Melina still hasn't given us a quote to this day.
No, she hasn't.
Continue that thread.
So, welcome back to another episode of Rent-Free Films. This is where we go through a list of questions that we sort of taken from films to be buried with, and then we've switched it up and reworded some of them, or changed some of them, yeeted some of them, and come up with our own. So 20 questions in total. We done mine like a month ago or whatever, and now we're doing Shaun.
It's my turn.
We're doing Shaun's questions.
Because I was nominated at the end of the last episode to do it next.
So, yeah, we'll just... I guess we'll just start because it feels like there's a really strange way to segue into this, I guess.
Yeah, you can't really lead into it. You've just
Not from, you know, gaslight, gatekeeping
That's from
girl
the prelude.
boss.
I don't think you're going to keep in.
No.
Come on, we established in our last call that I have like an inner basic white girl.
What was her name again?
Chelsea.
Chelsea. I remember Chelsea.
It's Chelsea with a K.
And a Y.
Why?
Because she's one of those.
Oh, God.
We're not gonna get into this now.
There's a B.
Like, do we want to go all in what like our calls are like? Because there's a lot of
we're not
shit
gonna
in
talk
there.
about that. No,
Let's just,
Shaun,
I'm going to crack open
question
this.
one.
I don't want this podcast cancelled, thank you
No.
very much.
We just recorded the Himigoto episode, man. If it's going to get us cancelled.
That's a good point, actually.
So,
Me.
we'll just start with the first question.
Yeah, we're just going to go right into it.
First film that you ever saw.
This is tough for me because
It's hard, isn't it?
I have to, because film has been a part of my life for as long as I can remember, and I have so many childhood, specifically VHSs that I had that I've just always had. So I've sort of split this into two things. It's either a bunch of VHS I used to have, which would have like Toy Story 2, which I remember mentioning in the last episode.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, Pokemon 2000.
Okay.
Which I had. The other sort of Pixar films, I think Monsters Inc. was there. But I'm also categorizing this as the first theater experience I remember.
Okay.
And the earliest one I've been told that I had. I split that up because my dad has since told me that my first theater experience that I don't remember was seeing Shrek 2. Which makes a lot of sense. I love that movie.
I feel so old.
That movie came out when I was 2.
Oh, I remember Shrek coming out.
Shrek 1 came out the exact same year I was born.
Oh my god, same.
I know, it's almost like we have very close birthdays.
Oh, I remember when I was your age, Shaun. I was
Yeah,
hosting a
2
podcast
weeks ago.
episode.
Oh,
This is great, I like making you feel old.
yeah, I remember getting Shrek on like DVD or something, or VHS or something like that.
I had Shrek 2 before I had Shrek 1.
Yeah, that makes sense.
The thing is, I don't remember that theater experience at all. Like, my dad does.
Yeah.
And he specifically told me, you were quiet throughout that whole thing, which was surprising to me at the time. And I was like, I wasn't a very loud kid, Dad.
Wouldn't you have been 3?
2 or 3, yeah.
2 or 3, yeah.
Oh, was it like one of those kids showings where like they don't dim the lights fully and the sound's a bit lower?
I don't know, I don't remember.
I don't know if our cinemas would have had them at that point.
Yeah.
That feels like a new thing.
Yeah, like, I assume it wasn't that. 'Cause I don't remember.
I mean, yeah, exactly.
But the first theater experience I can actually remember, and this is a very weird, like, cut. Chicken Little.
Okay.
Oh.
Like, I specifically remember, like, one part of the film, it's where I don't know if you guys have ever seen.
I've seen
I
Chicken
have seen,
Little.
as a kid though, so again, also bits and pieces here and there.
I could have also used Chicken Little as another answer that I've realized I haven't. Hasn't aged well in terms of quality for me.
Sorry, I've just checked that your Chicken Little came out.
2005.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was 4.
I was 8.
Again, that age gap, it's not very big in terms of number, but like in spirit.
Yeah, when we're talking about memories of like formative childhood experiences, it can make a big difference.
Yeah, like it feels like you're very much late 90s childhood and I'm
Yeah.
early 2000s childhood.
Oh.
Anyway, Chicken Little overall, not a great movie. Wouldn't go back to it.
No.
But it's got a lot of nostalgic memories for me, and there's this one part I specifically remember in that theater experience. It's when like the alien sort of robot things come down. It's like the moment they've just landed down, they get on like they set foot on Earth, and like the sort of robot light eye things like pop up. I remember very audibly going as a kid, and my mum wouldn't let that go because because she was like, oh, that's adorable. It is a memory I have tried to fucking suppress.
It's the thing.
'Cause it's
your
embarrassing.
Yeah.
Your mom always reminds you. I remember this.
Yeah. I'm like, thanks, mom. But yeah, I'd say those are probably the first films I remember watching. I can't tell you which one of those was the first film I ever saw, though.
I mean, like I said, like I'm not 100% sure Toy Story 2 is the correct answer. Because memory is a funny little thing like that.
Yeah, like in my mind, I've just always known about those films. There wasn't a time where I didn't know them.
Yeah,
so.
it's not like now when you watch a film for the first time and you have like cognitive
First impressions.
Yeah.
Like, I can't tell you the first time I watched Toy Story 2. I've just always known the story.
Yeah, same. I don't know why you're talking about Shrek 2 in the cinema reminded me that I as like a school trip thing, we went to see Meet the Robinsons
Oh, wow.
in cinema, and I genuinely forgot about the film's existence for the longest time.
Wow, really?
Yeah, and
That's a good film, actually.
it's a good movie.
Underrated.
But it's one of those like
It's on Disney Plus.
forgotten.
Watch it. Stream it right
It's
now.
one of those forgotten Disney movies.
Yeah, because it came out at the time where like Pixar was still in like I'd say it's prime. I haven't watched many Pixar films in the last like 10 years,
Yeah.
so I can't say if they're still good or not, but it was when Disney was trying to transition into that 3D like without Pixar, and Chicken Little was one of those.
Yeah.
And it's very much of that era where they were like, what do we do if it's not Pixar?
But yeah, Meet the Robinsons kind of felt a bit like a fever dream.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a good movie though.
Yeah. I remember when I first watched that, it was actually on DVD at like a friend's house. I'd never heard of it before.
Yeah.
And I love that movie.
I'm not sure if I've ever seen it since. I just remember going to see it and like seeing clips of it online. I'm like, oh yeah. So we'll move on to the next question.
Yeah.
The film that makes you cry the most.
This one was hard because there's not many films I cry at.
You're not a crier. You've mentioned
No,
you're
I'm
not a
not much.
crier.
I, on the other hand, am a little bit.
I've become more of a crier over time, I will say. But like for like the first like say 18 years of my life, I just didn't cry that much at film. So the two I've specifically mentioned, I'm mentioning right now, are films I've seen in the last couple of years.
Okay.
One is Grave of the Fireflies.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because that's still fresh.
yeah, it's raw.
I think we've talked about it enough just on the Anime Lane episode.
You could go listen to the Anime Lane episode. I'm sure it's out by now.
But the other film I have is The Green Mile.
Oh yeah, the one I just cannot yet bring myself.
I can't
to
blame you
watch.
for that, and I won't go into too much detail because I don't want to spoil anything.
I'm aware of some stuff, and that's enough for me to go.
Okay. I will say there's two parts. There's the ending, which I won't go into. If you've seen the movie, you'll know and you'll know why. But there's another part. It's not even so much sad. It's just sort of horrific. It involves like a electric chair sort of execution, but it sort of goes wrong.
Oh god.
And like it doesn't go into like super gory detail, but like you can feel all the pain of like, the part that they're not supposed to be going through, and like it's both horrifying but also makes you sort of tear up because it's horrible.
Yeah, I think it's that sort of way I describe Schindler's List, where it doesn't always necessarily show you anything explicitly, but it's powerful enough that you get the intent behind it.
Yeah, it makes you cry, but it also gets you like angry at like one specific character because they've sort of made that happen.
Right.
Because they're fucking stupid.
Yeah.
So it primes you up for when they get their comeuppance at the later end of the movie. I won't go into too much detail. You should watch it.
Yeah, I know I should. I have it. I haven't. It's
you need to
finding yourself in the
yeah.
mental state.
Yeah. I will say, having watched it a few times, I can get through it easier now. It's one of those films like the more you watch it, the better you can cope with it.
Yeah.
But that first time is rough, so I don't blame you.
Yeah.
I still heavily recommend it though. It's like Saving Private Ryan. You cry your eyes out at that.
Yeah.
But you've got to watch it at some point.
Yeah. So, is that all of the ones?
That's all of
yeah.
them I had. That's all the ones I could think of.
Yeah,
again,
you're not like me where I could run you a fucking laundry list.
I'm not a little bitch.
I'm in touch with my emotions and I am emotionally secure with that.
I'm only a little bitch when it comes to horror. I know we'll get to that when we get to the question.
I cannot. Yeah. Anyway, we'll talk about that in Halloween episode. What I was gonna say. Number 3, film that you love that everyone else hates.
Okay, so some of these aren't so much films that everybody hates. They're just films I feel are like underrated. I don't think I like a bit more than like most people probably do. One of them is the first Bay Transformers film.
Okay, no, I think that's fair.
Yeah, because I don't think that gets as much hatred as the later ones.
No.
Because out of all the Transformers films, like the Bay Transformers films, that's probably the one that's least egregious.
It's the only good one.
Yeah.
And I think everyone sort of, at this point anyway, agrees with that.
Yeah, that, you know, it's enjoyable. You kicked me, how dare you. I love that movie. I can recognize its problems.
Oh.
But I don't know what it is. It's sort of that weird vibe it
Why
has.
is it so fucking horny?
Ah, that's a good point. It's not as horny as the second one.
No, it's not as horny as the other fucking 4 of them, but
Yeah.
you know. I mean, let's not forget, the 4th one has the whole plot line of the guy that's dating a 17-year-old when he's 20.
Oh yeah, and they bring up the Romeo and Juliet law.
Which doesn't even protect him.
No. Don't watch the Michael Bay Transformers movies, Melina.
I don't think I was planning on it, but
Don't now.
No.
I've heard enough about like Megan Fox being so
Yeah, that's a whole thing.
so sexualized.
I remember as, you know,
Teenager.
yeah.
Same.
Yeah.
I remember being like slightly before like teenager being.
Oh, say I was 10 when the first one came out. And like,
I'm not
growing up with that, it was like, oh.
I'm not saying the.
That's feelings.
I'm not saying the first Bay Transformers film awakened anything. But,
Yeah,
you know,
it definitely.
it was a prelude.
Yeah. I remember, like, looking back on it now, I'm like, why are they so fucking sweaty, though? Every character
You're right.
is just so sweaty.
You're right.
It's an artistic choice.
No, it's not. It's creepy.
The set was just so human.
The only
They're
ones
just
that aren't
floors.
sweating like buckets are the Transformers because they can't.
I was about to ask, are the Transformers?
No, they're not oily. I don't think you could get that past the censors.
Oh my god.
This is the first one, and like this is like a 5 movie list.
Oh wow, okay.
The second one is surprisingly I didn't realize it until like I was making this list. The Wolverine.
I like the Wolverine.
Yeah,
I know, but I'm
same.
not. I'm saying in general, I don't think it's really.
It's not.
I know it's not as talked
Great.
about.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. I know it's in there of like the good X-Men movies.
I feel like overall, most people just put it as okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've heard the general consensus like, watch it.
Yeah, I think its biggest problem is definitely like the last
Yeah.
kind of act-ish.
I'm gonna be honest. That stupid comic book shit that I love.
Yeah, I like it for that. I can see why it's sort of it's a bit of a letdown
Yeah.
for the tone of the rest of the movie at least.
Yeah. I sort of like it in the sense that it sort of feels like a throwback to Marvel films 10 years before that one came out. And I grew up on that shit, so I'm all in on that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Wolverine is not as loved as it should be.
Yeah.
I feel like it needs a little bit more praise.
For sure. It's not Origins.
Like
that's-
it's not, and it's not Logan definitely, but
No.
you know, maybe just a little bit more.
Yeah. perfectly cromulent.
Yes. Moving on to another superhero film, another Marvel superhero film.
Great.
Spider-Man 3. I love Spider-Man 3. Yes.
No.
Yes. I don't care if it's a bloated mess with too many villains. I love that movie.
I hate that movie.
Wrong.
No, I am so fucking correct. It's unbelievable.
No,
I can't
fucking
believe you're
wrong.
saying this shit right
Spider-Man
now.
3 is fantastic.
No, it's fucking not.
Yes, it
it's
is.
horrible.
I love it.
Oh, Melina.
It's been so long since I've seen it that I have no recollection of what happened.
Wow.
You should watch it again.
Yeah, I know.
It's great.
I was planning on rewatching everything, like, I was running to No Way Home, but I just never did.
I like to say I recognize that it's dumb.
I've heard
It's
it
the worst.
being
It is the
used-
worst of that trilogy. I'm not saying.
Yeah.
I've heard it being used as the butt of a joke before when someone asks, "Oh, what's your favorite movie?" It's Spider-Man 3.
There is a running joke on the internet that Spider-Man 3 is ironically the greatest movie of all time.
No.
I'm not saying that.
No.
I recognize I love it for purely biased reasons. Like I saw this in the cinema when it came out.
So did I.
I was 6.
I was. What year did it come out?
2007.
I was 10, yeah. Yeah, I think I've seen it in cinemas. And I remember liking it back then, but as my, smooth brain turned wrinkled.
As you've grown wiser.
Yeah, I acknowledged that, no.
Look, I know it's trash.
It's not
love it all the same.
just trash, though. Like, villain overload aside, the Peter and Mary Jane...
Oh, I'm not defending that.
Nah.
But you see, that's not just a Spider-Man 3 thing. I think they're terrible in every movie.
Oh, yeah, no, don't get me wrong, but it is absolutely fucking
Abysmal.
at its worst, because you also have Harry thrown in there.
You see, the thing is, I actually think it's not as bad as Spider-Man 2 in terms of like that little plot line. MJ is horrible in Spider-Man 2. She gets engaged to like another guy, and it's implied she's only doing it to piss off Peter.
True.
Like that's fucked up. And that's the best one.
Gatekeep. Girl boss.
Melina, do
You
not
need
support.
to rewatch these, honestly.
I know.
Do not support your sister in toxicity. Mary Jane's a bitch. I don't care.
But she's that bitch.
No, she's horrible. Gwen is way better.
In those movies?
Well, not Gwen in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I forgot she was in Spider-Man 3.
Yeah, she's in
I'll be
Spider-Man
honest.
3. Not
Well,
like,
she's a nothing character
Yeah.
in Spider-Man 3. I don't know why she's there. Overall, the movie still, I still love that movie.
Oh, can we move on?
I think that's sort of basically the major movies I could put off. I could talk about Back to the Future 3 being really good as well, but I don't think that's hated.
No one hates that.
Nah.
I think for whatever reason, it's sort of like the lesser talked about one.
Yeah, it's sort of overshadowed.
But I think that's because 1 and 2 are so intrinsically the same movie.
I think it's also due to the fact that, like, Back to the Future 3 focuses, like, it sort of just becomes a Western after the first 20 minutes. Like a full-on Western with time travel sort of twist.
Yeah.
But I really like... I can like Westerns is the thing, so I think
Yeah.
that's why I like...
I don't think anyone's arguing against you on that one.
I know, but, like, I just feel like it's not as appreciated as it should be.
Fair enough. I mean, it's one of the few that's claimed as like a perfect trilogy. So
That's true.
take the W.
I'll take it. I think that's all I really want to talk about with
Okay.
this one. So
We'll move on to the next question, which is a film you used to love but don't anymore.
this was hard at first until I really looked through my movie library and realized, oh wait, some of these kind of fit. The first one I'm going to mention, because it's at the forefront of my mind, is Force Awakens. So I
Okay.
really liked that movie when it came out. I thought it was a nice return to form. In retrospect, I despise Force Awakens now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because its whole thing.
Let's get into
I put the
this.
phone down because I need to. I'm going to go into this. Its whole thing was to set up a nice sequel trilogy.
Yep.
the sequel trilogy did not turn out so nice.
No.
So now, retroactively, Force Awakens' existence is lessened
Yeah.
by how it went.
I don't
Fair.
like it because it's just a remake of New Hope.
You see, I was fine with that
I
the first time I
wasn't.
watched it, but the more I watch it now, the more that sort of feeling's like worn off. And now I kind of hate the movie.
Fair. I've kind of steadily grown to dislike even, the parts of the sequels that I liked. I liked Last Jedi. I tolerated Force Awakens. But I've steadily grown to dislike Last Jedi. I really can't stand Force Awakens, mainly because as I've rewatched all the films, my feelings with New Hope have become really complicated. And that I recognize it's a good movie. It is a good starting point. You need it. But oh my god, it's kind of boring.
I disagree on that front, I'll tell you that.
And then, the less said about Rise of Skywalker, the better.
It's on this list.
There
Further down,
there
it's
are
on this
parts
list.
I like, but ultimately it is shit.
I can confidently say at this point, there's no part I like about Rise of Skywalker.
I like the action direction.
No. Hate. Stupid. Don't like it. I'll get into Rise of Skywalker. It's on the list further down.
Okay.
I've also put on the Star Wars prequels here, but it's sort of
you
hard.
still love...
But you see, it depends. It's specifically Attack of the Clones,
Okay.
because the prequels have there's a roller coaster of a story when it comes to me in the prequels. I've gone from liking them to not liking them to liking them again.
Okay.
To now sort of I'm at a mix depending on the movie. Like I still like Revenge of the Sith. I'd still say that's a good movie. Phantom Menace I can sort of be 50-50 on, depending on the day.
Yeah.
And Attack of the Clones, I don't like anymore, like at all.
That's fair. It is not a good movie.
No. Thing is, I remember really liking it as a kid.
I think the only worthwhile thing about Attack of the Clones is Yoda versus Dooku. But even now, that's like kind of aged.
That's what I was gonna say. It's aged from an effects standpoint, I'd say. I mean, it was impressive at the time.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. But like, even just the concept of like fucking Yoda.
It kind of comes the fuck out of nowhere.
Well, it's not just that. It's the fact that he's now been reduced to flipping around with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
Like that's the only thing George Lucas thought was cool about Yoda in that moment.
Yeah.
And I kind of hate that. So it sort of goes in the face of what Yoda is in the original trilogy.
Yeah. I like Revenge of the Sith. I think Phantom Menace is fucking boring as fuck. I only really like it for Duel of the Fates.
I mean, I think that's pretty fair.
And yeah, Attack of the Clones. I like the opening. And that's about it.
Is that like the car chase in the city? Or?
Yeah, where Palpatine sent a guy who sent a guy who sent a guy.
Palpatine sends a man who sends a man who sends a shapeshifter who sends a robot who sends bugs to go kill Padme. This isn't the first 20 minutes of the movie, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the prequels once.
I'm so sorry.
Fair.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry you had to
Yeah.
watch them once.
I know so
It
many
was
people
in a
who
marathon, so you know, they're just
okay.
there.
I know a lot of people who had never seen Star Wars before and started with the prequels and like I didn't watch anymore, and I'm like, no, that's fair.
No, yeah, that's the one thing I knew even before watching like the originals. I was like, do not start.
Yeah, but there's a lot of people who
Prequel.
don't know,
They have
and
no
they
one
just
in their
they're
circles
just
to
like
warn them?
number go up.
1, 2, 3.
I know it says episodes 1, 2, and 3, but do not start there. Just don't.
I don't think there's going to be anybody listening to this going,
Yeah. You're right,
I know.
I'll do that.
Yeah,
You're right.
yeah.
Good point.
Yeah. And another one which I've only realized in like the last couple of years I don't like it anymore. Man of Steel.
That's fair. I did not like that movie when I watched it recently.
I liked it when I saw it, but keep in mind when I first saw it in the cinema, I was 12, so I was the
That's
perfect
fair.
sort of target
Yeah.
audience
Yeah.
for that. movie.
I remember hearing it was like okay,
Yeah.
and so like I wasn't going in expecting a lot, but then I watched it and was like, I'm sorry, Returns was better.
I watched again like a couple of years ago for the first time, still thinking it was like a good movie, and then when I actually sat down and watched it again, I was like, oh no,
It's such a
oh no.
fucking pessimistic take and such a hopeful character.
Yeah, like they've taken like it's like making Captain America but making him Batman.
Yeah.
Like they don't fit.
No.
It screams that DC saw the Dark Knight trilogy, didn't understand why it worked,
And then gave it to Snyder.
and tried to force it on every superhero movie going forward from
Yeah.
them. Just kind of how the DCU is so shit and
Oh.
now needs a reset.
I still don't really know if James Gunn's the best person to handle
We'll
that.
bring some life into it. Whether it works, we'll see.
Yeah.
I don't have hope.
I think
You don't have the S.
I'll stay with my opinion. We need to leave superhero movies for 20 years.
Oh,
I'm sorry hitting that as well. Just
Just leave it.
like
Yeah.
the
Don't
craze
touch
is
it.
over.
Yeah,
Just
let
stop
it.
it.
We had Endgame, we had the big moment, now just let it die.
Let it die.
Yeah, like don't drag this out because we're getting to a point where everything's.
We had Justice League. Justice League. And the Snyder League was no better, really.
No.
It was longer.
It was longer and
It was 4x3.
Oh, I watched that.
You
Yeah, I
did.
remember.
I remember as well.
I have a headache just thinking about that. Anyway, I have complicated feelings with the Guardians movies, and that's why I'm like, I don't know about you handling
I really
the
like
DC.
Guardians movies.
You've seen Volume 3 of this?
I haven't yet, no.
Oh, you should.
Because I have complicated
Okay.
feelings with the Guardians
Yeah.
movies, I like keep putting it off because everyone's like, they're so good, they're so carefree, they're so funny, and I'm like, no, it's so fucking cringe.
I don't know. Maybe it's.
I love the soundtracks.
I will say... I don't know, I'm looking at this from my point of view. Maybe my cringe is different from your cringe. I was going to say Volume 3 isn't as cringy.
No, I know that the like Volume 3, just by nature of being the end of like a trilogy and seeing the trailers and stuff, I know it's going to be more of like an emotionally weighted film.
Absolutely.
It's just that 1 and 2, it's like I don't like, or at that point, you know, the MCU's dialogue style and quippiness had just become so overdone that James Gunn making a whole movie
Yeah.
about characters who are that
Yeah.
was just not for me.
It's funny, I usually think that sort of Marvel dialogue-ness sort of just gets overboard in Ragnarok.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Ragnarok is absolutely
Like, that's the poster child for
yeah.
me of that whole problem.
I think that's a symptom of being post Guardians as well. Whereas it was like sort of building and then it culminated in Guardians and then everything after just sort of started beating you to death with it.
Yeah. I'm glad Endgame and Infinity War were more serious films.
Yeah.
They knew when to rein it in for those movies, and ever since then they've gone the opposite direction again.
Yeah.
Yeah, back to Man of Steel.
Back to Man of Steel.
Yeah, I sort of watched it again and realised, oh, I hate everything this movie stands for.
It fundamentally doesn't understand what Superman is.
No, I think Zack Snyder, I think I can say at this point, he doesn't like Superman, like as a character or as a concept, just it completely conflicts with his worldview.
I feel like he sees every single superhero in the DC as being similar to Batman in some capacity.
I think it's not even that. I think it's that he saw Watchmen and was like, this is the only way superheroes should ever be portrayed.
He watched his own film and was
Yeah.
like, oh yeah.
Well, that's why he probably did it in
Yeah.
the first place.
Oh, he's not.
He doesn't understand.
We are not stuck in here with him.
He's stuck in here with us. I don't like Man of Steel anymore.
No, that's fair.
And it's almost heartbreaking. I think that's basically what I really wanted to talk about for that one. I've got one more, but after talking about Man of Steel and the deep like problems I have with that, the next one doesn't feel very
Throw it out there just as like a...
completely out of left field. Fantastic Four, 2005.
I mean, I get it.
Yeah, no, I get that. You know, you watch it as a kid, you're like, this is amazing.
Yeah,
this is great.
I remember liking both of those as a kid.
Yeah.
And now...
I'm not sure which one's like aged worse in terms of quality for me. The first one, or the second one. I put the first one here, but
Rise of the Silver Surfer is just downright bad.
I think it's boring. I mean, the
Yeah.
first one's pretty boring as well, but
Again, when you're younger, it makes sense.
I also think it's like, you know, the first time Fantastic Four had been properly thrown out onto the big screen, so it was like a big
Deal,
thing, and there was
yeah.
nice spectacle there for the time, but then it's like,
yeah. I've sort of hit like the point where I think the fucking PS2 game that came out at the time is better than the movie. Because that was a good game.
I don't think I ever played that one.
It was a superhero like a movie tie-in game, but you know it was pretty good, surprisingly.
I mean, the Revenge of the Sith tie-in game was really good.
That's a good point, actually.
Some of those tie-in games were good.
Yeah.
It was just very few and far between.
Yeah.
The X-Men Wolverine Origins one was better than the movie as well.
Yeah, I've played that in full. It's surprisingly good, probably because it has almost nothing to do with the movie other than the basic plot.
Yeah.
It feels more like a comic adaptation than the actual movie.
Anyway, moving on.
We're only on question 5.
Number 5, the scariest film you've ever seen, you little bitch.
This is easy. This is so easy.
really?
It's Shining.
Really?
I've not seen much.
Oh my god.
I can't. I can't put Halloween because Halloween doesn't scare me.
Oh my god.
I can't, it's not even a horror
No.
movie.
No.
Like I avoid horror. Like
Yeah, so do I. That's why I have nothing else to go on.
but I have seen thrillers that were so much worse.
Nah.
Split scared me more.
I've never seen Split.
I mean, fair. I get it.
Yeah.
No, by all means, I get it. It's scared the crap out of me.
Bruh, if all I have to farm is tomato, I'm gonna bring tomato.
Oh my god.
There's fuck all else I can say.
I would have probably pulled like at least like a trailer or something.
Nah.
Nah.
The question was what film?
Yeah, but like if you don't watch horror, you were well within your rights to pull like anything. That,
Nah.
There's not even like as a kid, you were like, oh, this is a terrifying moment, but then
No.
okay.
Moving on.
Yeah, no, you're fully well in your rights. Wow.
Not even that scary.
It's not. That's why I almost got up. 6. What's a film you used to hate but now like? So a flip of question 4.
This one was also really tough because it's
To hate a movie.
the thing is this implies that like I rewatch films I hate. I don't.
I think the idea here would have been like, I think hate's a strong word, and so when I was answering all these questions, I kind of, if it said hate, was like, I don't need to hate it, I just needed to dislike or just have like sort of,
Yeah.
it could have been mid,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you know?
Like just disappointing.
Yeah.
I've got one answer that sort of hits that. This might be surprising because I didn't like it the first time I watched it, but like not long after I rewatched it again, I thought, oh no, this is actually pretty good. I actually didn't like Iron Man 1 at first when I first watched it.
What the fuck?
I know!
I was expecting Shang-Chi and I was like, yeah, no, it makes
No,
sense.
no.
I remember you didn't like Multiverse of Madness the first time you watched it.
That's actually coming up a
Because
little
it's
later, and I
scary.
don't want to repeat myself.
okay.
I'll get to that. It's a bit of it's far down on the list.
Yeah.
but-
Iron Man was you know, the first of his kind. If it didn't, you know, hit the right buttons at the time, I get it, kind of.
Yeah.
I was obsessed with that movie.
I want
when
to
it
state,
came
I
out.
rewatched it again like not too long after my first time, and I did like it.
Yeah.
Like I like it now. It's a good film.
Yeah.
But the first time I watched it, I was like, kind of mid.
Wow.
I know.
Wow.
That's my dark past right there.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's insane.
I've seen-
How did you feel about Iron Man 2 when it came out? I remember
Iron Man 2 is still my least favorite.
I was still smooth
Of like the Infinity
Yeah,
Saga.
I remember at the time it came out, because obviously, you know, slightly older, so I remember Iron Man 1 coming out in cinemas and seeing it, and I was 11.
I remember Iron Man 1 coming out in cinema. I didn't see it until like a few years later though.
I think I saw Iron Man 2 in cinema as well, and I would have been, was that 2010 it came out?
Yes.
So I would have been 13, and I was still smooth brained.
I played the game of Iron Man 2 before I watched the movie. Both of which are terrible.
Yeah.
I don't know which one's worse in my mind, I'll be honest.
But I remember being smooth brained and thinking, oh, you know, it's good. I enjoyed it, and then, you know, as I got older, it was like, oh no.
Iron Man 2 is such a fucking slog.
Yeah. Elon Musk is in it.
Yep. Every time I rewatch, I'm that's the guy.
Yeah.
I forgot.
At that point in time, I'm like, was Tesla a thing? Yeah.
Probably.
No, I don't think so.
Because I was like watching it and I'm like, why
don't-
the fuck are you here?
Elon bought Tesla, right? He didn't.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
fully-
like,
Yeah,
no,
no. He's not the
similar to
inventor.
like
No.
similar
or
like what
founder.
happened with PayPal, right? Like he didn't
Yeah.
make
He didn't
PayPal.
found
No,
PayPal.
no.
He was on
Everybody
board.
thinks he did,
Yes.
but he didn't.
No,
That's-
he
that's-
really makes sure people will believe.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah, like
Same with Tesla.
No, tying back to Iron Man 2, he's very much Justin Hammer.
Yeah.
He's good at PR. He's not fucking smart. He just pretends to be smart.
I'd argue he's getting worse at PR as well.
Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
the last couple of years.
He's getting community noted like fuck on Twitter.
Remember when he was the guy everyone thought was going to save the planet?
Oh.
Was a hopeful like year and a half maybe.
Yeah. 2016-ish.
What a year.
What a year. So yeah, anyway.
Yeah, I didn't like Iron Man 1 at first. I've since come around, obviously.
That's fucking...
I've got nothing else that really fits the criteria.
No,
Okay.
no, I understand.
Because, like, if I don't like a film, I don't.
I did have
care
the
enough
same
to go
trouble
back.
as you, and that was how I ended up with Godzilla.
Yeah.
Which I watched the other night actually. Still.
I need to rewatch it again. I need to, like, get it in 4K probably.
Oh, it was good. So
Yeah.
fucking good.
I could go on films that, like, I still don't really like, but, like, I don't hate as much.
Okay, example.
The only one I could think of is, like, the fucking Ben Affleck Daredevil movie.
Oh, fuck
I've
off.
still not seen it. Just every time.
That's
I
gone from
think
me,
about
like,
it, I'm
or
no.
actively disliking it to just being ambivalent
It's
to it. Though.
it's terrible. I hate it.
I could
so
put it on
much.
as, like, brain off schlock.
No, I'll get angry if I do that.
I feel like I'm less angry about it because I've seen, like, the Netflix show and I know a good version of Daredevil exists.
Yeah. So you like the Netflix show?
I love the Netflix show.
It's a good show.
Especially the
good.
third season.
Oh yeah.
I'm not powering through two mid as fuck.
I still like the
Season.
first two seasons.
Yeah,
a
I've
lot.
rewatched them and I was like, oh, this is actually better.
Yeah.
I watched all of season 1. I didn't really like it. Started season 2 and went, no, it's just the same.
No,
Nah,
I really liked it.
It's like
I think
people
Daredevil
telling
gets
me
better and better as it goes on.
Yeah, I'd say so. Last season is a bit meh, but it has its moments.
What, season 3?
I know, yeah, there's 3. I'm confusing it with with the
She-Hulk?
No, the one where they all go together. Jesus.
Oh, Defenders.
Yeah,
Defenders.
Defenders. Yeah, no, didn't
That's
like that.
that's fucking stupid. But like, I got some enjoyment out of it, but that's just a stupid series.
Yeah.
They made the worst character of that entire group the main guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about the Defenders
No,
or that
I don't
whole,
want no.
you know. Jessica Jones was good. I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
I've
Outside
still
of
seen
Daredevil,
season
Jessica
1.
Jones is definitely like the best of those shows.
It's the only one I actually enjoyed.
Yeah. Punisher was alright. I've only seen the first season.
I think I got about halfway through and I was just kind of like, it's Punisher in the sense that it's edgy for
Yeah, at that
edge's
point, it
sake.
all depends on if you like jive with the cold character
Yeah.
and tone of Punisher, and if you don't, I don't blame you.
Yeah.
Especially nowadays.
My problem with the Punisher is that the Boys TV show has now done the concept better.
That's a fair point. I haven't seen
Yeah.
The Boys yet.
Yeah,
so
Boys is good.
I need to get on it.
Yeah, the actual Boys comic is
Terrible.
yeah,
I've heard.
because Garth
Yeah.
Ennis doesn't like superheroes, which is why he created Punisher, and then why he created the Boys. And the Boys is just like
Is it cynical for the sake of being cynical?
yeah,
Okay.
basically
It's Snyder.
yeah, it has no point.
Imagine if Snyder did The Boys.
Oh,
No, I don't want to think about
That's
it.
a worse
no,
timeline.
Yeah, no.
Anyway,
What question are we on?
7. A film that means the most to you, not because of the film itself, but because of the circumstances or the memory of seeing it. It's a fucking wordy question.
It's Potter. It's Potter.
Yeah, I mean,
No.
fair enough.
We went into this last episode,
Yeah.
so I'm not going to harp on it. Because I feel like Harry Potter comes up way too many times on the podcast.
Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Parrot Potter. But like, I've basically said everything already in like the last episode. I grew up with it. I am bound by it for
Yeah.
life.
No,
not
yeah.
whether I
get
like it or not at this point. So it's not the films themselves anymore. I'm just attached to them because of circumstance.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know,
So-
the evenings you spend with your family
Yeah,
watching it. Yeah.
a lot of times where like if me or like one of my sisters were sick, we put it on and watch it. It's like a
Yeah.
feel good thing.
Yeah.
Sort of tainted now because again, the author's a bitch. But
Yeah.
it's got to be Potter.
It's gotta be.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah,
I still
fair.
respect Daniel Radcliffe though.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
he's
he's
a bro.
amazing.
Number 8. What is your most memorable theater experience?
I have so many.
Yeah, I mean, that I had the same trouble.
Yeah,
Like, I had a long list.
like there's so many like memories I have like just in terms of like cinema in general. It's probably why I've ended up loving film so much just like
Yeah.
in my life. Because like there's seeing Daredevil 2 with a mate right after like we finished all our exams. That was a good time.
When did Daredevil 2 come out?
No, not Daredevil. Did I say Daredevil too?
Yeah.
I meant Deadpool.
Okay.
I was also
really
like-
confused.
I
I was like,
Deadpool. We talked
I was like, I hadn't even finished my exam.
Sorry. We talked about Daredevil a lot,
Yeah,
and like I got mixed up in my head.
that's
Deadpool
fine,
2. So like circa 2018, me and my friend had just finished our exams.
Yeah.
We needed like a way to decompress, and he was like,
Yeah,
"Hey, let's watch
exactly.
Deadpool 2 because it's in
Yeah.
cinema." And I was like, "Yeah, sure." That was a good time.
Nice.
Endgame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The amount of times I watched that one with like my mum, who was still really into the MCU. I got her in. I got her into the MCU because we were going to watch Infinity War because she just liked Marvel movies at that point, but she hadn't seen them all yet.
Okay.
So I got her into all of them. She became a big fan. We watched Infinity War and Endgame together both when they came out. Those were good memories. Seeing them with the same mate I went to see Deadpool 2 with right after when it got re-released. Like a few months later with an extra deleted scene. 'Cause that was a thing they did at one point in like some fucking... It was to make sure it was still the highest grossing movie of all time.
Yeah.
Because Avatar
Yeah.
had come out again in China, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was a good time. Seeing Guardians up there with my dad and my little sister when the first two came out. And seeing Shang-Chi and like Eternals with you guys.
Ah, yeah.
Those are good memories. So there's a lot. It's a lot of Marvel stuff. I realized just talking about this.
I mean, the culture around it, you know,
Yeah.
you go see it with people you care about, and you watch it, you talk afterwards, like, oh my god, what do you think this means? It's Mephisto!
Especially when all of you were into it as well.
Yeah. Remember
Yeah.
when we went to see fucking Eternals and fucking Harry Styles showed up in the post-credit scene?
As Thanos' brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The collective what the fuck.
Yeah.
I remember that we all kind of had heard-ish about
Yeah.
it. We were like, please no. Please no.
Yeah, we were begging. Spider-Man is probably the best in my experience, I think, out of that like time frame.
For Multiverse of Madness still sticks in my mind because I remember sitting there going,
This is different.
why is this in stereo?
I feel like we had different priorities when watching it.
Yeah.
I couldn't get it out of my head that like, because we had seen all of them up until that point and the exact same cinema together. We'd always seen them at the Ocean Terminal cinema in Edinburgh. And we'd always seen them on one of the big screens, and for some reason, Multiverse of Madness was in one of the smaller ones, and so there was a certain like sound that I was used to, and it was just suddenly like,
Oh.
hold up.
Yeah, those are great memories. I remember all the birthdays that I've had with like me or like my cousins going to see movies. I once saw Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs with my cousin.
That's
for
the
her
classic birthday movie.
No,
Oh, goodness.
This one's hilarious though because after a few years later, I talked to her about it. Like, you remember that? And she was like, I forgot you came with me to that because she invited her friends and me. So I was like, I remember. What the fuck?
Wow.
And that sort of ties into like when my dad would take me to sometimes he would take me out of like primary school or whatever to like see a movie that day just for like a fun thing.
Wow, look at you.
No, the thing is, he doesn't remember most of them as well either.
Wow.
Because like we were both watching Man of Steel again because it was on TV, and I was like, we saw this. He said, actually, he asked me, I was like, have we seen this movie again? I was like, yeah, you took me out of school to see it, and he was like, I did. Really? And I was like, you don't remember?
Should I have been doing that?
Yeah.
It's like, wow, that sounds like horrible parenting. It was you. Makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, there was the one time where like me and my mom went to see Batman v Superman, and it's the only time. It was the only time we walked out of a theater and was like, that was complete shite.
Yeah.
That's the worst cinema experience both me and my mom have ever had.
Oh, I'm glad I never went to see that.
We walked out of that and we had headaches.
Yeah, fair.
Yeah.
Batman v Superman's terrible.
Yeah. Oh, I remember a couple of Christmases ago when I was like shopping after Christmas and buying like stuff. Up on the counter, HMV have like deals. Like, so if you buy stuff, you know, if you're buying stuff, you can get this for cheaper. And I saw Batman vs Superman. It was like the ultimate.
Yeah, the
cut
director's cut or
yeah.
whatever.
And I was like, I'll grab that. It's like $4.99.
Might as well.
Yeah, and so I like picked it up and added it to the pile, and she went, "Oh, it's a good movie," and I was like, "No,
No, it's not.
I was like, I really
we both.
hope
Let's acknowledge it right here.
because you'd
right
already
now.
sort of said a couple of things about some of the stuff I picked up, and I picked that up, and I'm like, I really hope this is a bad attempt at flirting.
You just reply, I'm not giving you my number.
I feel like this movie, this ain't happening.
I never meant that. Oh.
Well, then you're just dumb. God, I just remembered the time like my dad took me back when Frozen came out.
Oh God.
Oh.
I was like 12 at the time.
Oh.
No, because we were mainly taking like my little sister, but like I remember complaining about it profusely because I didn't want to see Frozen.
Yeah.
Because I was
But
12.
You get dragged along, yeah.
Yeah, but you know, I made it very clear I didn't want
come
to go.
on!
I was 12.
Yes, but you're not.
I was a 12-year-old boy going to see a Disney movie.
I was dragged to
That's
so
social like
many
crucifixion
movies.
for a 12-year-old boy.
He's got a point.
Yeah. But like my sister was like 8 at the time, so you know, I had no choice. But
No
like
amount of protestation is gonna get you anywhere.
no, the best part of that entire experience though was when the moment my dad realized, oh, this is a musical. Because like the song
As if that's the problem.
No, it was because that's when he turned to me and just said to me,
I'm sorry.
no, that's when he said, if I knew this was a musical, I wouldn't have taken you. And I was like, I fucking told you.
Sure.
I think that one right there is the crown jewel.
Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful. Just as soon as music starts, I can just imagine that going, oh no.
Yeah. I still bring it up with him.
Do you want to build? Oh, fuck.
I still bring it up with him all the time.
Did he ask the same thing during the first Hobbit movie? Or did he ask the same thing during the first Hobbit movie?
He didn't take me to see Hobbit. I saw that with my mom.
Oh.
I was happy to see Hobbit. I didn't care about the music in that one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I'd read the book at that point. I knew there were songs, so.
The next question.
You're good.
Sexiest film you've ever seen. I am genuinely curious.
I don't fucking know. This one genuinely, I can just say there's barely any answer, like whatsoever.
Yeah.
Because I don't watch a film and feel that most of the time.
Not
I mean,
even
it
an
doesn't necessarily need to be
accidental-
like a. Like
I do
a
have
comment
an
on
answer.
it.
Like, you don't watch it because you think it
Yeah,
will be
yeah, yeah.
hot.
Yeah, like
It just happens and you're like, oh, that's
I do
nice.
have a couple.
I mean, it doesn't necessarily need to be a good thing either. It could be
No.
a bad thing.
I do have a couple here. I was gonna put Batman Returns,
Which I did.
but
yeah.
you did that, so I was like, fuck. So I put Schumacher Batman instead.
That's fair. That's very
'Cause those-
fair.
Yeah.
We talked about it a little bit before, but those films are fucking horny.
Yeah.
Way too horny.
Yep.
And the other one, which I think you guys will probably agree, Black Widow.
Oh, fair. So many ass shots.
Oh,
That
we
film-
have talked about this extensively.
Yeah, we have a whole episode about like that whole thing.
I'm
Go to Ass Avengers.
Not
Yeah.
against it.
No, we all watched it. This was during COVID times,
Yeah.
and then we discussed it, and all of us were like, I mean, I'm not complaining, but Jesus Christ.
Yeah. It was way more sexualized than we thought it would.
Yeah.
be.
Yes, 'cause
Especially
we were,
from a female director.
yes, and Scarlett was producing, and we were on
Yeah.
like, it's gonna be like badass.
It's gonna be way
woman.
more tasteful. It's gonna be cool.
It's kind of hilarious to me that she's handled better in Iron Man 2
Yeah.
than she is in her own movie.
Yeah.
I was actually,
Because it's like
I was actually a
it's-
little tempted to put Iron Man 2 here because just of Black Widow in that
Yeah,
movie.
because she is, very much portrayed in like a sexy way in that film, but it's not
It's
like
more a femme
it's-
fatale.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like
what I
a
was gonna say.
badass way.
Yeah.
Whereas in,
it's very Fujiko.
Yeah.
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 but in Black Widow, it's like
Ass
ass.
Ass shot.
Mayhaps.
Can I interest you in another one?
Genuinely, that's the only film I could think
Yeah,
of.
that's fair. That is fair. So a film you think outclassed its source material. This is hard if you've not read like
Yeah, because
anything that a film is based on.
I want to state I'm very ashamed to say this. I'm not much of a reader.
No, I know you're not like a big reader
Yeah.
either.
I wish I was.
Yeah.
And it's just me like a patient and some content. Are you good?
Yeah, it's not. I keep hearing something rattling. Oh, I think your mic stands too close to the
Oh, the table. Yeah.
I just
Whoop.
hear a lot
Yeah.
of stuff.
And I was
going
like, oh my god,
through.
it's me.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
No, it's cool. I'm not much of a big reader. I can only like mainly go off of like what I've heard of like
Yeah.
the source material and stuff. I put Shining here again.
Interesting. Okay. I haven't read The Shining, so I can't comment.
I've heard like enough about the book to like just sort of think. I think the movie would just be more interesting, and the movie is very interesting.
Yeah.
And spooky. But like, most of the stuff I've like put down here is stuff I've heard about the source material, but I haven't actually read, so I don't feel very comfortable saying this is definitely outclassing the source material, except for one, and that's Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
Okay, yeah.
So I've read most of the original book, and it's an all right book, but like there's Dahlisms, as I'll call them.
I don't really like Roald Dahl's books.
Yeah, they're very much. I'd like this. I remember these as a kid, but like as an adult,
I didn't even like them as a kid.
I had a few as a kid.
I think I had James the Giant Peach, and I think I had Charlie and the Chocolate Factory.
Yeah,
but I didn't like them.
Yeah. I think specifically, obviously, the Gene Wilder movie, the Johnny Depp one. No. Well, I have nostalgic attachment to it.
I have so much nostalgia for
I have nostalgia.
I don't know why.
No, I do, because it was everywhere and like when it was coming out.
I had a lovely pirated version of it. It was beautiful.
So did I. We all watched it.
You know, your dad just showed up and was like, "You want to watch?"
Yeah, some like slipcase DVD.
Yep. It was. I remember, like the cover was printed, black and white, just shoved behind the plastic.
No, you got
black
more
and
than
white.
us.
I got very desaturated.
And it was like the worst print quality you've ever seen. Yeah.
That one isn't as good.
No.
Anymore.
No, I also remember renting it from Universal Video Store.
Wow, that's a throwback.
Yeah.
But no, the Gene Wilder movie is a masterpiece. So I think that would certainly surpass its source material.
Oh yeah, I'd agree.
And the other one, this is just a tag on at the end, Muppet Christmas Carol is way better than the actual Christmas Carol book. I will not hear otherwise.
No, I'll agree. I'll agree there.
I have no horse in the race.
You've never seen Muppet Christmas Carol?
I don't.
Is that the one where Kermit committed 9/11?
No.
No, that's the other one.
No.
Isn't that Muppets Take Manhattan?
No.
No.
Am I confusing
That was
two
another
movies?
Christmas movie you're thinking of, but it was like a made-for-TV one sort of thing.
Yeah.
I haven't seen.
I know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
because like it's like a sort of parody or like tribute to like It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's like the Muppet equivalent. It's like, what would the Muppets be doing and what would life be like if Kermit wasn't born? But they filmed it like they filmed the sections where he's going through the life without him pre-2001, and the parts where like it's normal, like the normal timeline was post 9/11. So it has the implication.
Wait, so this is post Jim Henson's death, where they'd already done What If Kermit Wasn't Around? Yeah. And it was way more emotionally impactful. Oh, fuck me.
Yeah.
But like the implication is
that 9/11 wouldn't have happened
if Kermit wasn't born. So some way, somehow, Kermit caused 9/11.
You know, it isn't in that episode.
Why does this keep coming up?
Oh my god, why does 9/11 keep coming up?
How did it come up when we were talking about paprika?
Terrorism?
Yeah, terrorism. We were making... This is so off topic. Yeah. But like, we were talking about paprika and you were like, why do they keep calling it paprika? Is paprika a dream terrorist? Is she Dream Bin Laden?
I was like, was there Dream 9/11?
To which I replied, is Dream Bush gonna pop up in a Dream aircraft carrier with the banner Dream Accomplished?
At that point, Dream just meant nothing anymore. I was like, the Minecraft YouTuber?
I wouldn't be surprised.
But
yeah. Movies that surpass their source material.
I haven't seen Muppet Christmas Carol in full.
So
I've only ever seen bits and pieces of it.
Sin.
Yeah, I know. I know.
In a few months, you've got to watch it.
I know.
Perfect.
I'm just not a big Christmas film person outside of like Home Alone and stuff like that.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But like, Muppet Christmas Carol is like the prime.
I know, and I've been watching Muppet stuff like this year for some reason. So
you know you're in the perfect place.
Yeah. So is that
Do it.
all your answers, or you?
I think there's one more, and that's Shawshank Redemption, because that was based on a short story. I think.
Was it? I did not know that.
And I don't care how good the short story is. I don't think anything's gonna surpass the film.
Yeah,
for me.
fair.
So I put that as just a sort of probably. But again, not a big reader, so you know this isn't fully comprehensive.
Yeah. What film do you think objectively is the greatest film of all time, even if you don't like it?
We've sort of talked about them before on your list. Is the
Yeah.
thing. I think we said we were all on the same page with this. So Citizen Kane,
Yeah.
because pioneered.
Yeah.
Sort of.
Yeah.
I sort of went into it a little. I think I remember King Kong, like the original,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
in terms of like an effects sort of thing that pioneered a lot of techniques.
Yeah.
Especially in stop motion, obviously. It's nothing much beyond that. Again, I put Grave of the Fireflies as well because that's still very raw.
Okay.
Like emotionally, I think nothing
Yeah.
can surpass.
Yeah.
that. Even if subjectively.
Yeah. I think, as we described it on the podcast, it's one of the best films that you'll never want to watch
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So I think that puts it in like an objectively really good thing, no matter how you personally feel.
Yeah,
about
yeah,
watching
yeah.
it. That's sort of basically it, because we
okay.
sort of went into like I think
Yeah.
all our answers on your
Yeah.
ones. So
Yeah. Godfather, you know.
you see, I haven't seen Godfather.
No,
is the
same.
thing.
Yeah, it's
Dude, bro, movie.
it's fine. Like, I can see why people like it, but you know, there's better gangster movies.
They really are.
Yeah. It's so fucking long.
That's what's stopping me from watching it.
Yeah. It could easily be 3 different movies.
Yeah.
What is a film that you can watch over and over again?
So this might be cheating, but I've put all of the Infinity Saga.
Okay.
Like I can put that on like constantly,
Yeah.
like just front to back.
Yeah.
Any movie, just in that order, I can watch over and over and over again, and I'll never really get tired of it.
Yeah.
I think that's self-explanatory,
Yeah,
really.
yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like for us, both Monty Python,
Yeah.
like Life of Brian and the Holy Grail, I can put that constantly,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it will always make me laugh.
Yep.
At like the exact same points, I can anticipate when I'm about to laugh. And so
I
it makes
can
me
Exactly.
laugh.
recite full scenes and I still will laugh.
We are the knights who say
Nee. We are no longer the knights that say nee.
there it is. What behind the rabbit? It is the rabbit.
What is your favorite color?
Blue. No, wait, yellow. Every single line in that movie is gold.
Oh,
Oh,
yep.
yeah.
Same with Life of Brian.
Yep.
I'm now at the point where I can't decide which one's better. They're both masterpieces.
Yeah, definitely.
And going back to that perfect trilogy we talked about earlier, Back to the Future.
Oh, for sure. I get that. Yep.
Like, no matter what, any day of the week, any time, I can put one of them on,
Yep.
whatever I feel like, and just enjoy my time.
That theme, man.
It's good, man.
I'd play it if we wouldn't get fucking copyright struck.
Yeah.
Hum it. Hum it slightly
No.
off key.
No.
Over 4
Should get
different things.
One of those ometone things.
I have one at home.
You still got that fucking.
I don't know how to fucking play it though.
Oh.
I don't know what it's called. I've forgotten what it's called.
I think it's just called a stylophone.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. When you're editing this, try and play that and edit it in here.
You think you would?
No,
No,
that's too
I
much
don't.
effort.
But yeah, it's those 3 things specifically I think I could never get tired of, because there's films I do also like, but I think I would get sick of them after a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
Those 3 things specifically.
Yeah, that's fair. What question?
13.
Okay. What's the worst film you've ever seen?
This was a toss-up between 3.
Wow.
Okay.
Go.
One is Batman and Robin,
Fair.
because you go into that movie thinking you'll laugh at how bad it is. You will not. That's a
It's-
lie. That's a little demon speaking to you in the back
Yeah,
of your
it's
mind.
boringly bad.
It's not. Yeah, it's not fun bad. It is painful bad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fun. Yeah.
You can't even laugh at Arnold Schwarzenegger making like ice pun jokes, which was I thought was gonna be the saving grace, was gonna get me through the movie. It didn't.
Nice to meet you.
The second one is The Kingsman.
Oh,
There you go.
Oh, fuck me.
You ever seen any of the Kingsman movies?
No.
Watch.
It's played in the background once, and I was like, nah.
Kingsman the Secret Service and Kingsman the Golden Circle are
fantastic.
fantastic.
Watch those. Heavily recommend.
Oh, the Kingsman is fucking awful.
Sorry. I'm very angry. I despise the Kingsman.
It has
Fundamentally.
one good action sequence that even for Kingsman is fucking dumb.
Is it Rasputin?
It's the fucking Rasputin scene. They have a dance battle
Yeah, you
where they
think it
actually fight with a dancing Rasputin.
You think it would be great. You think that would be amazing. It's not.
No.
It's too long.
Yeah.
It's too long. It's too nonsensical.
That is so nonsensical.
At one point, because they're in like a sort of manor place, if I remember right. But at
Yeah,
one
they're in
point,
some big
and it's in the
Russian-
winter. But at one point, he falls into like a frozen over like hole or something, and then they continue fighting
Oh,
in that.
okay. Huh.
It's dumb.
This is the movie series that did a church fight scene with Freebird playing over it, and
It's one of the best action
Yeah.
sequences in film.
and it's and somehow they managed to make Rasputin dancing while fighting dumb.
I hate it. I genuinely hate almost as much as I hate Rise of Skywalker.
There you
it
go.
is, yeah.
This
There
one's
it
very
is.
personal.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
Star Wars. They fucked with Star Wars. And they always fuck with Star Wars. But this one hurt especially bad because I was there.
You felt that one personally, didn't
This
you?
one hurt me to my core. I had high hopes that somehow the sequel
At that
trilogy
point,
could
I
pull
didn't.
through. I was stupid. I
You
remember
had
being...
hope.
I remember it being 2019. I remember being audibly excited. I remember talking to you
Yeah.
being excited about it. I felt so betrayed. I felt so betrayed. It doesn't work as a film.
No.
There are plot points that they set up and never address.
Yep.
I don't think they were ever going to address. One of the main plot points is Finn being force sensitive. It's never actually explicitly said in the movie. It's all an implication. You're supposed to figure it out
Oh,
yourself.
Yeah.
Off of like 3 lines. I am actually getting angry.
That feels like a whole subplot that ended up getting rewritten and was initially meant to be something completely different.
It's shit like that that like made people think, oh, there's a JJ cut out there that I think got confirmed doesn't exist.
I know that it was slightly edited before
By
it
Disney,
hit
yeah.
cinemas.
But I don't think there's a
I don't
full-
think it was like an extensive
Yeah.
thing.
I despise every single part of Rise of Skywalker.
That's fair. I don't like the film either. I like some action sequences and like visually some of it is cool, but it's not a good movie.
It's well shot.
Yeah, as with everything that J.J. Abrams touches, it's
Yeah.
well shot. Not necessarily a good thing though.
It's the only praise I can give the movie. It's well shot.
Yeah.
But like overall, as everything else, I think Attack of the Clones is better.
Wow.
And that's not a good sign.
No, that's bad.
Oh, I hate it. Not even. There's other. I'm gonna go into this as well because this part also pisses me off. They do fake out deaths
Uh-huh.
twice
Yeah.
for 2
no.
very long-running characters. They do one for Chewbacca
Yep.
and they do one for C-3PO. They go the full hog of like having very emotional like sequences when you think they die.
This is also after doing a fake out in Last Jedi with Leia.
I could somehow, for some reason, I don't even know why I can forgive it. They are. They bring them right back right after.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Not barely an inconvenience.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this movie. If I ever got this movie on 4K, there's a 50-50 chance I would burn it. Like I'd grab it, realize my mistake on buying it, and then burn it.
I own it.
Can I burn yours?
Oh. Yeah, I got all of them.
I think
so.
it's the only film I can actually say, like, non-ironically, I would destroy that movie if I could.
Fair enough.
Like, I treat that the same way George Lucas treats the holiday special. I would erase that movie from existence if given the chance.
That's fair enough.
I hate this movie. I think I've made that clear.
Yeah. What's the film that made you laugh the most?
Monty Python again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100% fair.
Already gone into it. Don't
We
need to
all
Yeah.
share a
elaborate.
single brain cell.
Yeah.
Hot Fuzz.
Yes.
Best of the Cornetto trilogy.
Yes,
I have Shaun of the
absolutely.
Dead here as well, but like Hot Fuzz just overtakes it.
Oh, for sure.
Because
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
every single line in Hot Fuzz is gold.
Yep.
Yes.
Every single little detail in Hot Fuzz is gold.
P.S. Taker.
Piss Taker. All right, Mr. Taker. Jeanette, I'm moving to the countryside. I'm not Jeanette. Oh. Jeanette.
You do know that window's broken from the inside.
Oh. And a great big bushy beard.
For the greater good.
The greater good. Shut it! Ta-da!
I'm a slasher of prices. Oh,
I'm a killer.
you have nothing.
No.
We have done this for both Monty Python and now, and you've still given us nothing.
No, because the thing is, I didn't grow up with them. I
didn't grow up with
them.
them.
I didn't grow up with them either.
I've seen these in the last 5 years.
So have
Same.
I!
And that's all I have
Hot
for them.
Fuzz is
I've
the-
seen Hot Fuzz once.
Hot Fuzz is the only one I've like seen like in longer span of time. So like I watched that. I think when did it come out?
2007.
All right, so I seen it about 2013ish.
No, I saw it in 2015. I want to say that for the first time.
Monty Python, I only seen maybe like 3 or 4 years ago.
For the first time.
Yeah.
I can remember how I watched Hot Fuzz the first time. I was on holiday and I got like a portable DVD player.
Oh,
And I got a bunch of
yeah,
movies, and I
those.
just found out that my sister had Hot Fuzz on DVD. So I was like, oh, I'll just grab that because I've always been curious. And like, I must have watched it like so many times just on that holiday alone. It's now ingrained into me.
First watched it at an ex's house with her and her parents.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Perfect movie to
Yeah,
watch.
it was a strange experience.
Yeah, can imagine.
I can't hear the song that plays in like the opening montage, like "Don't drink, don't smoke." What
Oh,
do
yeah,
you do?
yeah,
And
yeah.
every time it comes on, I hear it like anywhere. I always just hear the footsteps in my head, and then go, "Police Constable Nicholas Angel," and then the whole monologue plays out in my head. I love Hot Fuzz. I think that might be my favorite comedy, along with the Monty Python movies.
Yeah, that's fair.
I've also got Airplane here. I'm not sure if you've seen it.
I haven't seen Airplane.
No,
I
I've
know a
heard
lot
really
of the
good
jokes
things.
from it.
Yeah, it's a good classic sort of comedy, I think. It's sort of that stupid comedy though, that I like. I heavily recommend.
I need to see it.
You should. It was on Netflix last time I checked, but that was a while ago.
Yeah.
Any other ones?
No, that was mainly it. It was mainly Monty Python and Cornetto trilogy.
Okay. So what film do you wish had turned out different?
I had a hard time on this until I like really looked into it and realized, oh yeah, definitely that one, The Hobbit. I like the way those movies did turn out overall, but like it could have been better.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
I just don't like the Hobbit movies.
I have an appreciation for them, I guess. Like, I don't know. I talked about this with you before.
We've talked about this so extensively.
Yeah, we talked about it a lot on the way back last time. But
Okay.
like,
Oh, yeah.
I'm very mixed on The Hobbit overall. Like, there's some stuff I really like, and there's some stuff I don't like as much.
Yeah.
So I think it's that sort of makes me think it could have been so much better.
Yeah.
If they had stuck with Del Toro, if he had actually, made a movie for once with no complications.
Made a movie.
Yeah. If he had actually done his job, he did it right, he didn't fuck it up, it would have worked. It would have just worked. And if they didn't stretch it out for 3,
Yeah.
that would have been great.
Yeah.
The Amazing Spider-Man movies. Because God, Andrew Garfield deserved better.
He is such a
Yeah.
good Spider-Man.
Yeah, he's a good actor. He's a good Spider-Man.
Yeah.
If those movies actually somehow worked, he could have been in the MCU as himself.
Yeah.
Like, there were plans that they were going to sort of merge them before Amazing Spider-Man 2 stunk big time.
Oh, how did they repeat the exact same fucking mistake as Spider-Man 3?
Because Sony doesn't learn. They only learn when their property's taken away from them in a custody battle.
Yeah.
So yeah, just those 2 movies. I wish. I mean,
Yeah.
I also, if they didn't turn out the way they were, we wouldn't have gotten Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So in the end, I guess it was sort of good things came out of it, but I wonder, a lot, what it would have been like if those movies actually succeeded.
Huh. I think I would have preferred Garfield's
You see,
Spider-Man.
the thing is, I'm starting to like think that as well.
Because I like Tom Holland, but there's
Yeah.
definitely a thing of like, the more I watch Homecoming Far From Home,
Yeah,
I'm like,
I think for me as like a Spider-Man fan, the thing with Tom Holland Spider-Man, well, I think he's very good at Spider-Man.
yeah.
And he's very good of like high school Spider-Man.
Yeah.
The thing is, and this is partially because of these movies, I'm sick of high school Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I am done with the entirety of high school Spider-Man. Like, because the more interesting Spider-Man stuff is after that.
Yeah. I
When
mean,
he's
look at the
in
PS4
college.
game.
Yeah, like that's like my favorite version of him. He's not, and it's because he's out of high school.
Yeah. He's not bogged down with like, oh, well, I need to keep my grades up and conceal my identity as Spider-Man. I need to worry about girl. No, he's an adult living his life.
Yeah, it's why Spider-Man 2 is still considered like the best
Yeah.
Spider-Man film. Because he's an adult
Yeah.
with adult problems. It's better. And Andrew Garfield would have been perfect for that, but he got fucked over. I'm still angry about Rise of Skywalker. That's bleeding end.
Yeah. I love the moment in No Way Home where like you can see all that was left in the table for his Spider-Man, where like he's talking about like how things went
how his
after
life's
Gwen died,
going,
and I was like, oh fuck, I would have rather have seen that.
Yeah. Like he's the best Spider-Man in that movie.
Yeah. Tobey Maguire, he was just a bit old at that point.
Yeah.
I liked that he came back. It was
Yeah.
nice. I don't need to see him again.
No.
I'm content.
Yeah, I keep getting confused when people start talking about Spider-Man 4 because I'm like, it's not oh wait, they're not talking about that one.
Yeah. If they were gonna do another one in the Raimi universe, the only way I would see it is if it was a sort of passing of the torch movie.
Yeah, which I'd rather they would keep for if they're gonna insist and continue with the MCU.
I mean, that's certainly. I think that's up in the air at this
Yeah.
point. Currently, the MCU is.
But also, Miles is thriving in
yeah.
animated form. So as much as I'd love to see him in live action, don't drag him in just yet.
Yeah,
him
that needs
time.
to be a few
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
Like I think we need at least 1 or 2 movies of Peter like actually being post high school Peter,
Yeah.
like where he is at the end of No Way Home.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it would be too long at that point, but you could have like a trilogy maybe
Yeah.
of that, and then have him pass the torch to a Miles.
I think
to
he's.
Miles.
I think Tom Holland has said that he wants to do another trilogy, and that's when he's gonna hang up
okay.
the
That's
suit. So you know, we'll
cool.
see.
We'll see. And this is where I've put Multiverse of Madness, surprisingly enough.
Okay.
Because overall it's a good movie.
Mm-hmm.
Like I do remember coming out of it thinking I'm not sure how I felt about that, but I've since come around to it a lot more. It's just I think there's a lot of lost potential of where it could have gone.
Yeah.
Like just in a story narrative, because it's called Multiverse of Madness.
Yeah.
I was expecting
Not
more.
enough multiverse.
Yeah, and they had set up like the whole multiverse at that point for like a year,
Yeah.
and I was kind of expecting them to sort of culminate it
Yeah.
in Multiverse of Madness, and they didn't.
I half expected them to chicken out. And I think this is the in-between result of that, of not going full in, but also not fully committing.
Yeah,
Even though it's doomed us to an absolute shit show
yeah.
of what we have right now.
I think if they had like sort of culminated like the wackiness of like the multiverse in that movie, like,
Yeah.
gone to more worlds, really went into what you could do with that concept, especially with Sam Raimi.
Yeah.
So I think I thought he was perfect for that to direct that movie, but like they didn't go all in.
Nah.
They just held back like too much for me to fully love that movie.
Yeah.
It's still good. I still like it for what it is, but you
Yeah.
know, could have been better.
I like it as a Raimi enjoyer. Because I've seen more of his movies.
Yeah,
so
I need to watch Evil Dead.
they're
It's,
good.
it is on my list.
Yeah.
Even if I'm terrified of horror, I will watch them. At some
The
point.
first one might be a bit rough to watch if you're not like a
I'm
horror.
tempted to skip it. I'll be honest.
I'd say it's worth watching because it is. Bruce Campbell's fucking fantastic in it.
Yeah, that's true.
But like from Evil Dead 2 onward, it's like a totally different.
It's well,
Beast.
Evil Dead 2 is sort of a horror comedy.
Yeah, and then Army of Darkness is a comedy horror.
Yeah. Which I like. I like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah, Army of Darkness is fantastic.
Yeah.
Um,
They're on the list.
Where?
I also put the Star Wars sequels here, but I think I've talked about it enough.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I also brought up the Star Wars sequels
Yeah,
as well.
so, you know, I think I've gotten my anger out now. If I talk about it more, I will slam a table. I will snap this table in half.
So what film does everyone else like that you don't?
There's maybe some hot takes in here.
Okay.
Titanic.
I've never seen it.
No, I get it.
It's okay.
It's fine.
It's long.
It's very long.
Yeah.
It's a slog after
It's
a while.
very much a DiCaprio, heartthrob DiCaprio
Yeah,
era.
like prime
Yeah.
1997
Yeah.
DiCaprio. So, yeah, but like, highest grossing movie of all time for a decade, really?
I still don't get how that happened.
Yeah.
No. No.
How?
How does Cameron keep fucking doing it?
I don't know.
He can't keep getting away with it.
He can't keep getting away with it. Especially with Avatar.
I know. How the fuck?
I would have put Avatar on this, but I think it's a general consensus that at least the first one is sort of mid. Really.
Yeah.
I haven't seen the second one.
I
No.
can't bring myself to watch it.
Did you not watch the second one?
I didn't. I watched the first one again and was like, fuck no.
I could not.
Somebody said I had like this. I thought that you watched it and thought it was really good. I don't know why I thought that. I must have been thinking of someone else.
No.
What? I don't get it.
No, I don't get it either.
I don't get it. I know it's not a film I'd really enjoy apart from like I like the historical stuff in it.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not the target demographic, even though it's like a historical film.
Because they went to good lengths to like make it like accurate, but at the end of the day, it's a rom-com or like just a romantic movie.
Yeah,
Which
rom-com's
I'm
a choice word for the sinking of the Titanic.
Well, they sort of play it like a rom-com
Yeah.
at some
Yeah,
points.
no, I know what you mean.
Don't
The
blame me, blame
dance-
Cameron.
The dance scene, it's
Yeah.
very, it's very rom-com-esque.
Yeah.
I watched
We're
it as
lucky
a first date.
We're lucky Hugh Grant wasn't in that movie.
Oh my god.
Because that would have been like the prime time as well.
Oh,
Yeah.
that hurts to think about.
Yeah, no, move, next.
yeah. This one isn't a hot take, at least at this table. I think Vertigo.
Oh, fucking hated
Haven't
I get
Vertigo.
it now. I get why you don't like it.
Number 2? Fuck off.
Sometimes it's number one.
It was number 1 for a while. I think it got
Depending on
knocked
the
back
year.
down again. Yeah.
Good. Like I won't say I get it because I don't really get it, but like I half get why people like why it's regarded in such high esteem, but like
I can see why Hitchcock dick suckers could like it.
oh yeah,
That's a phrase.
but that's a lot of film
Yeah.
critics is the thing.
Yeah. Critics aren't always right, though.
No, me personally, meh,
Yeah.
mid at best.
Just because it's influential doesn't mean it's good.
Yeah, a film that's influential and good is Citizen Kane,
Yes.
and even then,
It's good for its time.
exactly,
As, you
like
know.
it pioneered a lot.
Yeah.
I don't know exactly what Vertigo pioneered. If it's something to do with like color theory, I don't care.
I think it was a lot to do with color theory because I remember doing film theory on it and it was all about like, you know, oh, the green of her dress means that he's seeing her and he's jealous, and I'm like, oh, shut the fuck up. The
My
dress
entire
is green.
opinion on color theory is like that one fucking Tumblr thread.
Why are the curtains blue? They're just fucking blue, all right?
I don't care. I don't care about the deeper meaning.
Yeah, apparently the whole thing with Vertigo is that as the film goes on, there's more green appears, and it's to do with his jealousy and lack of like grip on reality.
That's a bunch of words. Too bad I won't read them.
Yeah.
I do think this is a really good film, but I don't think it's like. I think it's overhyped a little bit, which is why I put it here. I think you mentioned it as well, Spirited Away.
Yeah.
Because like it's a good movie.
Yeah.
I enjoyed watching it, but you know, it's a bit overhyped.
Yeah,
The greatest
for
anime
sure.
film of all time.
It's not the Miyazaki movie that should have won the Oscar.
Absolutely not.
Nah.
That's Cagliostro, baby. Lupin bias. And I'm actually surprised at this one because I didn't realize that I thought most of these movies were kind of mid until I actually thought about it. Not all of them, but some of the Disney Renaissance movies.
I get that.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
get
They're
that.
very
Specifically, Lion King.
I was gonna say I rewatched Lion King last year and was like, oh, it's just kind of mid.
Yeah, I get it's good.
Lion King and Aladdin.
Oh no, I still like Aladdin.
I like Aladdin,
Yeah.
but like if we're talking,
I have a
you
lot of
know,
nostalgic bias for Aladdin because it was of the Disney Renaissance movies. Because I didn't watch too much of them because as a small kid, you didn't really watch princess movies that often. That was mainly my sister.
Okay.
That's how I was raised. I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying it's how I was raised. So of the Disney Renaissance, the ones I usually watched were like Aladdin or Mulan.
Okay.
Both of which I think are really good movies. I have a soft spot for Mulan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I love the whole like the way it's like it shows Chinese culture and stuff.
Yeah.
And just all that entire aspect. And Aladdin just pure nostalgia.
At least it wasn't animated right next to a fucking concentration camp. You know, it's a whole thing about the live action film.
Let's not.
We don't fucking talk about
I
it.
really don't want to talk about the live action Mulan. I refuse to
Yeah.
watch
No,
it for multiple
Yeah.
reasons.
I've seen it. Don't watch it.
I refuse to acknowledge its existence.
Yeah,
Again,
don't.
multiple
Yeah.
reasons.
Yeah.
Some
You're
way
fine.
beyond just film.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah.
But most of the Disney Renaissance kind of mid.
Yeah.
Lion King and I'm gonna be honest, Beauty and the Beast.
It's
Oh.
yeah, it's hard to say why they like brought the popularity
Yeah.
back for
I
Disney.
can understand Lion King, but I don't get Beauty and the Beast enough.
I don't know. I don't know why Beauty and the Beast is such a soft spot for me because I didn't grow up watching it. It
Oh.
wasn't until like I was maybe like
I'm surprised you got a soft spot for it. It's very French.
yeah, I know, right?
What do you think of
That's
Hunchback of
that's
Notre
so
Dame?
weird. I've never seen it.
Oh, you're going to?
No.
Wow.
I just like when I was maybe 13, 14, I really got into Beauty and the Beast. I was like, this is the best
Pre-prejudice.
thing. The best thing ever. Like I knew the whole soundtrack. Be Our Guest was like my fucking jam.
The thing is, for me, Beauty and the Beast was everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, on like all like the Disney VHS and stuff being
Yes.
advertised everywhere and stuff. And so like after a while, I was like, I just refused to watch.
That fucking dance scene was on every single fucking Disney DVD
Oh,
Yup.
yeah. Yeah.
advertising other Disney movies.
I'm sick of that fucking candlestick. I would melt that fucker.
Nobody.
But yeah, okay, not ugh. I don't know how to, my words are failing.
Yeah.
I was gonna say most of the Disney Renaissance are mid, but that feels a bit harsh.
Yeah.
Some of the Disney Renaissance
Emperor's
are a bit.
New Groove.
Is that Renaissance?
Yeah,
No,
the
that's
end of the
after,
Renaissance.
right?
I thought Renaissance ended like at the end of the 90s.
Yeah.
No, Emperor's New Groove brought the end to the Renaissance.
If that's the end, then that one's a masterpiece.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the end because that was right before Disney were
Wait.
switching to
Okay. So is it when they go to 3D?
Kind of. It's a lot more complicated. It's more because Emperor's New Groove started out as Kingdom of the Sun,
Ah, you're right.
and it was in production hell for so long.
It turned into a comedy like halfway through.
Yeah, because they were given an ultimatum of you either. They tasked two different teams and on the film to come to them with like proposals of what to do, and one was the Rogers Allers version, which was continuing with Kingdom of the Sun, and then the other one was what we eventually got as Emperor's New Groove, and they found it
way funnier.
Yeah.
Way
Yeah.
better.
didn't perform.
You're
I
right.
know.
You're right. Because that's a cult hit.
Yeah. So yeah, it's technically the last.
Yeah, that makes sense. Wait,
Yeah.
hold on. Lilo and Stitch counts then as Renaissance, right? 'Cause
Oh,
that was
Lilo and
before
Stitch
Emperor's New Groove.
Best.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's interesting because it's not one that gets mentioned.
I know, because that's.
I wouldn't
felt
say
that-
it's part of the
no.
Renaissance.
I felt that
no.
was post, but that's before Emperor's New Groove.
Yeah.
I think Emperor's New Groove is the last one, but I think it's only because it
Because of
took
the
so
development hell?
fucking long to come out. Yeah.
Okay.
Alright.
If we
Yeah.
included Lilo and Stitch, then like half of the Disney Renaissance is like great, and I reckon I get it now. But I love Lilo and Stitch.
Oh, it's, yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Same. I haven't seen it in ages.
I haven't seen it in a long
I also
time
got to
either.
rep the real underappreciated Disney Renaissance movies, Rescuers Down Under.
God, wow, yeah.
Underrated. Love that movie.
Wow. Deep
I don't
cut.
care. Needs more recognition. I will stand that movie.
Where were we?
17.
17. What's something you'd adapt into a movie given the opportunity?
This one was hard.
Yeah.
Because my natural instinct was video games that I liked that I think would work well as a movie, and there weren't really many.
Yeah.
Zelda was one that came up. I'm not sure how well though it would work. I think
if
it
you
could.
Got like, not necessarily Miyazaki, but like a team from Ghibli to do it. I think it could work.
Yeah, I think if you'd have to be very careful about it, but I think it could do it right. And there was another one, but like the thing is, these do have movie adaptations, like quite a few.
Okay.
But I do them very differently if I had like the choice, and that's the Resident Evil ones.
I like the Resident Evil movies. I understand why you're going that direction.
Yeah.
But remember that they did try a different direction and it fucking tanked.
Is that Welcome to Raccoon
Yes.
City? No, you see, I get that. That's why I was hesitant. That's the one that made me really hesitant. But the thing is, they tried to adapt both the first game and the second game into one movie.
Yeah.
Which is not what you fucking do.
I also don't think it helps that they basically just put everyone in really bad cosplay.
Yeah, because I've seen like promotional images and like clips and stuff, and I think the only one that looks decent is Jill, or whoever played Jill. I don't know what the fuck they did to Leon.
Yeah.
He looks more like Carlos.
He does. It's so weird.
This is a conversation you can't be in, Melina. I'm so sorry. So in my ideas, like if I was to make a Resident Evil film, actually follow the games, I wouldn't combine the first two games into one movie.
No.
Because that's just a recipe for disaster.
See, the first like original Resident Evil film sort of took ideas from 2 and 1 and kind of mashed them together, but it wasn't like a direct.
Yeah, that's my thing. I'm thinking more like a direct sort of adaptation.
Yeah.
It's like I've got like two directions I could think of. Either a trilogy of the original trilogy of games. So like Mansion is the first movie, set up Chris Redfield.
Basically just covering the Raccoon City
incident. Like whole incident, yeah. If it was done in like the 90s, I can even like give some casting like ideas as well. Like I can imagine Tom Cruise as Chris Redfield.
Oh wow.
Like classic Chris Redfield.
That would work, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure who I'd get for Jill.
Angelina Jolie.
Yes. That's probably who I was thinking of.
Yeah.
And DiCaprio is just like Leon.
Oh fuck, that would have been great.
That would have been perfect. And it would tie into like my other idea, which is just a standalone movie based on Resi 4. Because that's perfect for like an action
That's
movie.
such an interesting thought, because that Resi 4 as like a standalone film for DiCaprio could have been his turning point.
Yes.
Rather than whatever film it ended up being. Was it The Departed, I think?
I think it was The Departed.
Yeah.
That would have been perfect. The thing is, that would have to, because I feel like you'd sort of have to, because I'm thinking of like, in terms of tone, it would be close to the remakes we have now in terms of games. But you'd sort of need to do Resi 2 as well, which makes it being a standalone movie sort of iffy. Because I can see DiCaprio being both action hero Leon Kennedy in 4 and dorky cop in Resi 2.
Yeah.
And Ming-Na Wen is Ada Wong.
Oh, yes.
That's the perfect casting.
Yes.
Like 90s especially.
Fuck. I wish this happened.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I was like, they did these movies. They didn't do it right.
No.
This is me correcting that.
I like the original Resident Evil movie. Well, you know, some of them.
I still need to watch most of them.
They're an interesting watch.
Yeah, I feel like I kind of have to as a Resi fan now.
It's only really 1 and 2 that have anything to do with the games.
Yeah. Doesn't Wesker show up?
He does.
But like, is it actually Wesker, or is it just a character named Wesker that's sort of based on the
basically game? Wesker, but at that point the story's so far gone.
removed. It's like a different thing entirely.
Yeah,
he's
he's
just popped in on.
Still vampire Wesker, but he's not like. It's weird.
How do you do that without Code Veronica?
I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know.
But yeah, as I was thinking more about this, I got the casting ideas. And I was like, this was perfect. I didn't get this. It's like if instead of like a game series, it was a movie series.
Yeah.
Perfect. I'm sad we didn't get it.
Yeah. So, what is a film you think has a better sequel?
Raiders of the Lost Ark isn't as good as Last Crusade.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a hot take.
I don't know, because
Watch Last Crusade.
I'm not overly familiar with Indiana Jones is what I was going to say, but thank you.
Watch Last Crusade, I don't care.
I'll get there. I didn't really enjoy Raiders all that much.
Watch Last Crusade, it's better. Skip Temple of Doom, that one's crap. This is probably a hot take.
Hmm.
Die Hard with a Vengeance is better than the first one.
No, I'll give you that.
You're giving it? Okay, cool.
You throw in Samuel L. Jackson, and you fucking
You throw in Samuel Jackson and Jeremy Irons.
Yes.
I like Alan Rickman, but Jeremy Irons is perfect in that film. It's the plot is basically the same, but like there's enough twists.
It's realizing that it's such a ridiculous thing and rolling with it. Whereas the first one's like a very sort of straight.
Yeah,
you know,
like it's 80s action. So it's still like bonkers, but they play it straight. With a Vengeance, you've kind of they're sort of self-aware with it.
Yeah, they somehow fucking regressed with Die Hard 4.0, but you know,
the thing with Die Hard 4.0 is that's just a generic action movie from like the late 2000s that has the Die Hard name in it.
So is the other one.
I've never watched
Good Day at Die Hard.
Yeah, I've never watched the fifth one.
They go to Chernobyl, I think.
Yeah, they go to Russia.
Yeah. Fucking weird.
Ukraine, because that Chernobyl's in Ukraine.
Yeah.
I've never watched it. I've never bothered to.
This was when they were trying to make
Was it like a series?
No, what's his name? The actor who played his son.
I genuinely couldn't tell you. I will say, by the way, just because we're on 4.0, overall, as a movie in and of itself, it's alright. But it's not, it doesn't feel like a Die Hard movie.
Nah, this is when they're trying to make Jai Courtney a thing.
Oh yeah, that dude.
He plays his son, John McClane Jr. Because fuck originality, I guess.
Yeah. Wasn't the son was in like as a little kid like the first like Die Hard movie, but was he called John Jr. in that one?
I don't.
Is that a retcon?
I can't actually remember.
Anyway, With a Vengeance is better than Die Hard 1. I will stick with that.
Yeah, no, I'll give you that.
I think that's a hot take. I don't care.
Neither do I.
And this and my last one, the first movie is still a masterpiece. It's just the sequels I think are better masterpieces, and that's Toy Story.
Oh, okay. No, I get that. I get that. 2 and 3 are just absolutely
Top
phenomenal.
notch.
Yeah.
Like Toy Story 1 is really good.
Yeah.
And
I don't think it has the emotional grounding though.
I think you sort of get that, but I think it's better in 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Toy Story 1's emotional grounding is Woody fucked up.
Yeah.
And Buzz is having an existential crisis.
Whereas in 2 and 3, it's like much more of a grand emotional arc.
There's much more like actual deeper emotion there because you have Jessie's whole backstory and her fear of abandonment and stuff.
And then 3 is just growing up and going, oh!
3's entire thing. I think we could go do a full episode just on the Toy Story movies.
Once I've seen them.
We will. I'm nominating if we do the film club idea that we've passed around sometime. We're forcing you to watch Toy Story. We're doing a Toy Story trilogy.
Yeah.
Whether it's a single episode or as multiple episodes, I don't care. You're watching them.
At some point,
Did we watch 4 as well?
I forgot about 4.
4 is visually good.
Yeah, I've seen clips of it. I need to get it in 4K. Yeah, 4K.
Toy Story 4K.
But I haven't gotten around to it yet because it feels so weird to me to go past 3.
It's
alright.
Yeah.
You know, it's our podcast. We don't have to do 4.
No.
We'll do the Toy Story trilogy.
Yes.
I'm sure it's probably a good movie in and of itself, but you know, you're never topping that.
No.
That's basically all the ones I could think of.
Okay.
Because I can't put stuff like the obvious answer, which is like Terminator 2 or something, because I think I'm one of like the few people that think Terminator 1 is better.
I prefer Terminator 1, yeah.
It's just weird. It's more horror focused, and that's why I like it, which is weird for me to say.
Yeah.
But it's sci-fi Halloween.
Yeah.
And I love the original Halloween.
Yeah. Okay. What film do you think has better source material? Again, this was probably a hard question for you.
This is a hard question. Yeah, I've sort of cheated a little and just put almost every single movie based on a video game.
Yeah.
Because you know that's duh.
Yeah.
Cheating, and I mentioned this a little bit last time, but the Percy Jackson movies.
Oh, okay. I have no experience with either the books or the movies.
I've read both the books that both the movies are based on, and I can tell you for a fact they don't even compare.
Okay.
Like the first, I haven't seen much of the second one. I have memories of the first movie more because I've watched that, read the first 2 books. I haven't gotten around to it yet, to getting the other ones, and I've seen most of the second movie. But the movies are very generic young adult fantasy movies coming off the coattails of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
To the point where I think like they advertise on the DVD for the first one, I think, that this is from the same producer as Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone.
Yeah, that old fucking chestnut.
Yeah, but you can feel that that's what they were really going for.
Yeah.
But the books have so much more like imagination to them and a lot more of like a gripping emotional like character building and like story and stuff. It's not even close.
Fair enough.
Even close. I need to read them more. I need to go back.
Yeah.
Those are the only ones I can really think
Those are the
of.
only ones.
'Cause
That's fair enough.
I'm not much of a reader.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So the final question.
This one's easy as piss.
The big one. What film lives rent-free in your head?
I think I've made it very clear that I think about the series a lot at this point. Star Wars.
Yeah.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
This is the only question I looked at it and knew my answer, and as I went through all these questions in more detail, didn't change. I was like, it's Star Wars. It can't be fucking anything else.
Okay, not to hijack your questions, but I do want to make an addendum to mine, and that's the film that makes you cry the most. I was watching something like talking about Inside Out and how it started to be used as like a therapy thing to help kids,
I've
and
heard of
especially
this,
non-verbal kids, to like process emotions and stuff like that. And I forgot how fucking much that film
it
just hit
wrecks
me.
you.
Yeah, the scene with Bing Bong just fucked me up.
Have
And
you
it's not
seen it,
until like, oh my
Seen
god,
it. This is my Toy Story for you.
Yeah,
you
I mean,
need
it's
to-
fine, don't worry.
You need to watch this film, because for me, as someone who watches, you know, anime and stuff, and you know, plays a lot of video games and, you know, all that sort of stuff, it was, at the time I was like, I couldn't figure out why that scene had such a big emotional impact. And it wasn't until I seen this thing about, you know, learning to deal with your emotions and how they use that, I was like, oh, it was me realizing that you can grow up and still be connected to your childhood
yeah.
and still
Yeah.
love the things you loved as a kid and
You don't
not
have to
be
let it
ashamed
go.
of that.
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
And I was like, oh my god. So yeah, Pixar may have gone to shit, but they did do really great stuff.
I feel like Inside Out was the last of like the really good
Oh,
Pixar
yeah, yeah.
Because I remember that one coming out, and I feel like since then they've just sort of declined.
They have all just
Yeah.
become the same fucking thing.
Was Big Hero 6 Pixar, or was that just Disney?
I can't tell at this point.
Okay, yeah.
Because I was
I
like,
don't
what was
remember.
Zootopia? That was Disney though.
That was Disney.
Yeah.
That was good.
Yeah. I'm not calling it
Zootropolis.
Zootropolis.
I was gonna
Fuck
say,
that.
don't you mean Zootropolis?
No, fuck that.
I keep looking at it because I got the Blu-ray of it. I should get it in 4K.
There's part of me thinking, just import it from America.
But like every time I look at the spine, I'm like, Zootopia. Oh nope, there.
Nope.
Zootropolis.
Yeah, I have it in Blu-ray as well. Anyway, I think that
I can't believe you hijacked my list, you bastard.
I just had to make that little addendum to add on. It's been an
Christ.
hour and 40 almost.
Is that longer than your one?
Yes.
I think so.
Wow. I
Yes.
thought I was gonna blast through my one. I'll be honest, because I don't think I'm as good as you at talking about like stuff that like that. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we gave you the space.
I know.
So, you know, I think I'm also like, I can talk about this stuff, but sometimes I'm also concise. Like
Yeah,
I'll try and not be long-winded about it. I'll be like, I don't want to waste people's time.
I think I'm the same thing. But this is
Yeah.
me trying not to be concise, because I think if I was, we'd be here like I'd get through them all in like half an hour,
Yeah.
and you'd get no substance in my answers.
So yeah, that's been Shaun's rent-free films. Next month it'll be Melina,
Yeah.
You're next.
which I'm sure is gonna be absolutely
Chaos.
yeah.
You have a month to
Oh
formalize
god,
it.
I'm gonna have some hot takes
Oh,
that
I
y'all
can't
are
wait
gonna
to-
disagree with.
This is gonna be fun.
And also so many movies that I don't think you guys will know.
Well, from what I recall of the like comfy movies that we did,
Yeah.
we had never heard of any
Yeah.
of them, to the point that I couldn't even find some of them.
You're gonna get the
Probably.
most obscure Dutch movies you can find.
For one, yeah, I know for sure. For I think scariest film, it's gonna be a Dutch one.
Ooh, okay, interesting. Because I've seen a couple of Scandinavian horror films. So and they were quite good. So I'm curious about a Dutch one.
Little bitch.
So yeah, thank you for listening to this. As always, there's stuff on the screen. You could do whatever you want with that.
Look at
You
that.
can comment down below. Yeah. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.